When I went to the United States at the age of 16, I started pressure washing basketball courts, cleaning toilets, working at restaurants, but I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So the first kind of mindset of entrepreneurs is like, you know what, let me maybe start a restaurant. That was my thing, right? Like, let me start a restaurant. Then I started researching it. You know, restaurants operate on 1% margins. A lot of them close down within 2 years. Every single day you have a new churn of customers. So every single day customers have expectations of perfection, right? Which is really hard to maintain. You have food, you have inventory, you have employees, all these things. I was like, bro, there needs to be a better way for entrepreneurship.
They're hard businesses to run.
Super hard. Passion project for sure, but very difficult. While I was waiting tables, you know, somebody came up to me, one of the fellow servers, and they're like, hey, like, you know, I've been trading stocks. I made $14,000 this last month. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's fucking crazy. You know, or made maybe $3,000 a month waiting tables. And I'm like, well, how are you doing it? What is it? He's like, oh, download this app called Robinhood. That's when Robinhood was new because we didn't know anything about finance. So you have this little gamified app. So I was like, hey, like, this is extremely intriguing. How do I get involved? He's like, read this book, Stocks, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. I'm like, okay, sounds good. That's the first book that I read about in the psychology of trading. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. A couple weeks go in, I buy a couple penny stocks, a couple of these biotech companies that tend to pump. I'm like, these are shitters. Like, these things are gonna do well. It's pretty fun. But I lost money, obviously, naturally. So I go back to my server, you know, buddy, and we continue conversing. A couple weeks go by, and he's like, hey, have you heard about Bitcoin? I'm like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's this digital money. People are getting into it. Pre-bull run, $588.
2016, right?
Yeah. So I go in, buy some Bitcoin, I think it was about 2.5 or 3 Bitcoin, and I sat on it. That was my first exposure to crypto in 2016. But it wasn't my first exposure actually to crypto. Looking back at it, it was my first exposure to the digital landscape, because Bitcoin crypto is merely the money of the internet. It's not inherently separated to the rest of the internet. It's very much congruent. So 2017 rolls around and I get introduced to social media marketing, e-commerce, Facebook ads, and that's how I start my business. 2019 rolls around, I get fully into crypto after the 2018 bull market.
Of course.
I do 160x return, lose it all. I fell into the hodl, you know.
How did you deal with that? I mean, that's a crazy amount of money to make and lose in such a small period.
It was very simple. I was super high convicted about crypto. I said I need to make more money because remember, 2016 rolled around. I came into crypto with $3,000 from a credit card. Yeah. Right. So I was like, I need to reposition myself the next bull run to do extremely well, which thankfully was a couple $1 million because I did well in e-commerce during COVID. So I dumped all of my money into ETH, into XRP, ADA, Tron, in the bear market dump of, I think it was March, COVID. I was buying Ethereum for like $100. So I did a 40x. Put in a couple $1 million, did a 42x on my portfolio, cashed out at a $59,000 Bitcoin, $3,950 ETH.
Wow.
And I exited the bull run. I shorted Luna because it was an obvious scam of 20%. Like, it was imploding, obviously imploding. Did extremely well on that. And then decided to build my personal brand. So I started trading dollars, which was what I made during the bull run, for influence, because I realized, hey, you know, dollars are depreciating. The government just printed 20% of all circulating supply over the last 3-4 years. It's clearly a shit coin. Let me sell my dollars for influence so that then I can take my influence and make more dollars. So it's like a loop cycle. Yeah. So I built one of the strongest personal brands in the entrepreneur space in the world in the last 2 years. And being good at crypto, it has opened up more opportunities for me inside of crypto as well. So this bull run rolled around. Last bull run, we had NFTs. I would say NFTs were probably one of the highlights for me. We had meme coins kind of begin to be introduced. Staking was incorporated. This bull run, it feels like it's a full meme coin frenzy.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it because over the last 2 bull runs, what we've had is all these projects promise utility, promise roadmaps, promise endeavors, promise tech, and 99% of them never deliver. So when I see this random meme coin pop around the year 2016 known as Dogecoin, I'm like, oh, well, what is this thing? 2017. I never bought it because I'm like, this is a shit coin. I'm too bougie. I'm too much of a financial connoisseur to buy Dogecoin, right? Like, why would I buy $100 million market cap Dogecoin? Seems risky. And then it rips to 10 billion. I'm like, okay, well, what is this? And I began to think, okay, well, why are people in crypto? And who moves the markets? Is it utility? Is it a roadmap? Or is it community? Is it people? Is it hype? Is it culture? And it's obviously the latter. So my crypto perspective has shifted from utility, quote unquote, because a lot of Web 2 projects can offer the utility that Web 3 offers, and realizing that the financial infrastructure, the base layer of crypto, the applications that we use, the chains that we operate on, are going to be hard to compete with and hard to topple. So you just build on top of them and take their momentum and build off of the momentum. And memes, in my opinion, are the most halal version of crypto.